Hey folks, welcome back to day number 3 of 7 breakthroughs that transformed my life. Many years ago, this is kind of a vulnerable topic for me, but I'm going to share it with you because I think you deserve to know it. Many years ago, I was super discouraged. In fact, you could even say I was depressed about who I was as a person. And the thing that I was so depressed about is I had all these ideas. I had all these initiatives that I wanted to do. And I remember on my honeymoon, my wife and I, we went to the Virgin Islands for our honeymoon, and we're sitting there at this resort where we were honeymooning, and it was the last day of our honeymoon, and we were kind of making out some goals and some dreams, and I said, I want to do this and this and this and that, and got done with it all. I had like these 13 totally random things that I wanted to do with my life, and it seemed like it was sporadic, and it seemed random, and when I looked at my life was sporadic, and it was random, and there was no cohesiveness to it, and it really kept me discouraged because I was a musician at the time, and I was also a business owner, and I was also this, and I was also that, and people were like, could you just focus on something, just pick something and do it? And it kept me discouraged because I felt like I wasn't focused enough. And then I had my breakthrough. And that breakthrough came in this when I realized that variety is healthy for the soul. Variety is healthy for the soul. And, we've heard it said, variety is the spice of life, right? Well, later I learned that one of the core human needs that we have as people is to have variety. And for me, it's very, very high to have a lot of variety. And so, some people, they kind of make fun of me. They're like, how do you know so much stuff, Jeremy? You know about stock market, you know about finance, you know about internet marketing, you know about the world of business, you know about music, and you were a baseball player. Don't look like it now, but used to be a baseball player. And you have all this life experience and all these different things that you're pretty good at, like really pretty good at it. How is that? And yet I was a horrible student. How can it be? I was a horrible student and I've graded all this stuff. And the answer is because I feed my soul on variety. And that was my breakthrough. The day that I discovered that being weird, that having so much interest wasn't a downfall at all. It was a strength. And, it turns out that people who don't have a lot of variety, they have pretty boring lives, and it's kind of mundane. It's the exact same thing over and over again. So, am I an expert at everything? No, I'm not, but I know a whole lot about a lot of things, and then I can get experts to help me finish off the stuff that I don't know. And what it's done is it's created this incredible world for me where I get to experience so much stuff. I've been all over the world, and I've done all sorts of business, both online and offline, and it's just been an amazing experience. And once I embraced my desire for interest, my desire for variety, and once I learned that it wasn't a negative, but actually it was one of the positives in my life, it was a huge breakthrough for me because I gave myself permission. I gave myself permission to be not scattered, but interested in a lot of different stuff. And so some of you are struggling with that. Some of you are struggling with, you feel discouraged because you're not focused. And I want to encourage you to step back and say, how could this be my gift? How could it be that my lack of focus is actually a gift and is all this various stuff that I'm interested in? How can it feed me, and how can I use that to leverage myself to go forward? And for those of you who maybe don't have enough variety in your life, let me share with you a quote that one of my great mentors shared with me. And he said this, he said, Jeremy, the quality of your life is going to be a direct proportion to the amount of variety and uncertainty that you can learn to comfortably handle. And when I realized that, when I embraced it, and I realized that was a part of my core need, and it was actually my drive towards variety that gave me excitement in life, I also realized that that was where all the quality of my life came from. And so, if I was stuck in an office and all I did was just, go work 9 to 5 in an office, I would be miserable because it doesn't fit my personality, it doesn't fit my model of the world, but it also closes off opportunity. It's my willingness to get out. Right here at this park where I say I work, quite a bit, I've met people here. People just walk by and we start talking, and I've actually met business relationships here. I almost did a real estate deal that I worked out right here at the park, guy just randomly walking by. And in the end, it didn't work out. It wasn't the right fit. But that's the kind of random stuff that happens when you open your world to variety. So if you're already a person who loves a lot of variety, I want to encourage you, don't be discouraged by it. Learn to embrace it and use it as a leverage point to take you to the next level. If you're one of those people who's afraid of all the variety, if you're afraid of the uncertainty, if you like to have really extreme structure, I want to encourage you, bring some variety in your life. Take that random trip. Do something totally unplanned with your spouse or with your girlfriend or with your family or whoever it is that you've got in your life. Do something totally random that you would never do before. Take an unnecessary risk just for the thrill of it. And it's going to probably drive you crazy, but learn to embrace it. Because when you learn to embrace variety, When you learn to embrace variety and uncertainty, the quality of your life will go up. And then you can start to become intentional. Remember, yesterday we talked about being intentional and getting your outcomes. So we start to become intentional about these are the things that I want in my life. And then we add variety to it. And suddenly we've got a very intentional direction with a whole lot of variety. And your life starts to blossom. And it starts to blow up into this beautiful thing and this beautiful adventure that maybe you didn't think you were worthy of living. But I'm telling you, you are worthy of living it because you were created for an extraordinary life. You were created to live something totally extraordinary, beyond everyday mundane. And so wherever you are, if you're feeling depressed about yourself because you like too many things and you're not focused, embrace it and learn to use it to your advantage. If you're feeling discouraged about yourself because your life is routine, you break out of the routine, break the model, and go out there and experience life to its fullest, because that's the only thing you got. It's the only thing you got in this world, is to experience this life and to live it as fully as you can live it. Okay, so that's my breakthrough for today. Learn to embrace variety, because variety is healthy for the soul.